Hello. Today I'm talking about level 5 and 6. I did a video about pre-VIP, and so I thought I'd take a swing to the other side. So, when teaching those upper levels, you really have to know how to interact with them. A big part is building rapport. And so, honestly, I kind of just imagine when I was a teenager the things that I liked and the things that I like to talk about. The thing about it is these kids are really interested in America. They're really interested in knowing what's going on here or learning things about it. So, what I try and do is sometimes if the material isn't as exciting as I would hope it would be, I try to have a fun secondary reward. And I know some people say they don't use a reward for upper grades, and that's awesome. And I would actually love to hear how people do that and keep the kids interested because that's a big part of what keeps my upper levels interested. And the rewards that I do are, of course, different than what I do with my younger. What I do with those higher level students is they sometimes we play a game where like I have stars hidden behind vocabulary words or behind pictures of things that go along with the lesson. Or we just simply have questions that they get to ask me about America, about myself, or we'll do spinners and ask questions about them. And those are what they get really excited about. They're so excited to get to that point in the lesson. So then they're reading, they're answering, they're doing this. And also, the extension is what makes the lesson fun too. You can extend what they're learning by asking more questions, and they usually want to talk. They usually want to tell you all these different things and learn these things. So if you can involve them in that lesson, get them talking, it usually makes for a really fun upper level lesson. The other thing is make sure you're having them read, but there is usually a lot of reading. So try and split it up. I often let them choose like what part do you want to read, and then they'll say, okay, teacher, you get to read this part. And then sometimes they'll just keep reading too. So I kind of work with them. Sometimes I'll do a spinner, and the spinner helps decide like what part, like they're one number, I'm another number. So adding a game element, using the timer, they always like to do fun things like that. So those make the upper levels fun. Also, don't treat them like they are a level 2 or a level 3 kid. If you're talking too slow, if you're using too easy of language, if you're using puppets and different things, they will look at you like you are really weird. And so remember at the level that they are at and try to teach to that. Now, I do know that some really young kids have gotten in the upper levels, and so you can change it. But I do notice that a lot of the upper levels are older students. So keep that in mind when you're picking rewards, picking conversation topics, and even in your conversation with them. Now, remember, they are not a native speaker. So you do still need to be aware of how you talk with them. But some things that I've noticed is they like to learn about different things that we speak, our slang or idioms and things like that. They find that so interesting because it is so different from the English that we're teaching them. So those can be fun rewards or ways to motivate them into working. Make sure to use your chat box. Type in words there, have them type in words. Make sure that I put up vocabulary words that they can refer to. I use my whiteboard. So look for these ways to engage these students in these upper levels, and you can have a really fun time, and so can they.